Hola. Hola, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're able to hear me. I'm going to just be chatting with some people as people are starting to join. It is now 2 o'clock in the Midwest. Obviously, we're not breaking this news. We're late to this news. I am not, as you can see if you're familiar with the stream, in my normal setting. I don't have my normal nice camera with me. The setup is a little bit in disarray, but I'm going live nonetheless. All of you guys probably know it's not like a bunch of new news, at least I don't think. I haven't really even dove in yet, but I wanted to jump on and at least chat with some of you guys about the case and about what came out today. And I want to actually use this as an opportunity since my setup is very limited. I'm not even sure if I can play the audio for you guys. So I may, if I have to play a video, it may just be coming through my microphone. So it's going to be kind of limited in that way, but I want to use this as an opportunity to chat with you guys in the comments and do the best that I can to communicate. I know sometimes I'm not able to see everyone's comments, but I want to do a couple polls. I want to just chat with you guys and see what you guys are thinking about everything. And just kind of go through it together because I heard the news and I haven't even dove in yet. So I wanted to quickly do that. And Alicia says the closed captions are working. Okay, great. Chris, thank you for reminding me. I did have them set up, but thanks for the reminder again in case I would have missed it. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult, so other YouTubers might not know where the setting is at, so I'll try to do my best to reach out to other people that do cover similar stuff, so we can get CC'd captions on everything, closed captioning. But yeah, let's go ahead and just chat to some people that are rolling in here. Cindy, how's it going? Cheryl, Nella, Joe, Vicky, Nicole, Ginger, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Russell, Libby, Kai, Debbie, Chris, of course, Kelly, Ramos, Mahoney family, Douglas, hello everyone, hello Heather, Trisha, hello, Chloe, Lil Cookie, how's it going? How's it going? So, thanks for going live. Yes, thank you for joining. Thank you for the 100 people that are here. Thanks for hitting the like button on the way in. Definitely hit that like button. Let's get the stream pushed to new people. I know that there are other people live right now. If you want, it just helps the stream. Even if you want to go over to someone else's live stream, keep me tabbed, mute me, bounce back and forth. Totally fine. I know that this isn't the normal kind of stream quality that I have normally, but I want to jump on for an hour or so at least and just go through some of the news that has come out. So hello Priya, hello Ali from the UK, hello Amanda, Debbie from Illinois, Marietta, I'm just gonna say Botha from South Bay, Africa, Cami, hello, David, Hummingbird, how's it going? So I'm not entirely sure who broke this news. I know Brian Enton tweeted this at 12:20 p.m. It sounds like it was all according to Steven Bertolino. I'm not seeing Steven's. I don't think he has a Twitter, so I think he probably provided this information to, who the right parties that eventually broke the news. But Brian Enton tweeted, Brian Laundrie died of a gunshot wound to the head, and the manner of death is suicide, according to the Laundrie family attorney Steven Bertolino. Full statement from Bertolino is Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed the cause of death was gunshot wound to the head and the manner of death was suicide. Chris and Roberta are still mourning the loss of their son and are hopeful that these findings bring closure to both families. And then of course Brian responded to himself on Twitter and said, "Where did the gun come from?" Bertolino isn't saying. And so I know I see a couple people, at least earlier in the comments, saying that, asking about the gun. And so I want to ask you guys, I'll do a poll. 1 second. Do you think they will ever find the gun? That's the question, right? So obviously, I don't know much about alligators and the wild, like boars and all the wildlife that is in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. I don't know, like, if you swallow a gun, if an alligator swallows a gun, can it just like be stuck, or will it eventually pass it? Like, what's the deal with that? Like, if potentially it was swallowed by an animal, like what happens in that case? Because that's the only thing that came to my mind is like possibly it was eaten. What are your guys' thoughts? Because I think a lot of people aren't, necessarily going to believe that that this is truly Brian. I know that there's a lot of people that don't believe that this is Brian, and they'll definitely never believe that it's Brian unless the gun was found. Obviously, and we'll do another poll later, but if the gun was found and there's DNA, would you then believe, for those people who don't necessarily believe right now, would that be enough for people like that on the fence? But like Ginger says, the gun must be there somewhere, right? So, a lot of speculation in the early parts of when Brian's remains were found, people thought, well, maybe he was eaten and dragged somewhere from further away, and that's why there's less, clothing. I think they found some clothing potentially. I wish that they would come out with a full statement of exactly what they found. And I know that's what's in the thumbnail as well, is I want to look into the notebook. Did they ever talk about the notebook today? But like I said in the beginning, I want to jump around the comments and just chat with you guys as well. Cheryl says, alligators don't eat guns. Yeah, I doubt they would either. Lone Siegel says, I'm not sure I believe this. Why the heck would an alligator eat a gun? Yeah, I'm not saying I think that happened, but it's like, if for some reason Brian, like the majority of Brian, was eaten by an alligator, because it's like, where's the rest of him, right? So I know that they only had like a partial remains. I'm just thinking, like, if that was the case, what would happen? Maybe buried in the mud, says Gloria. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, they need to go through that entire area and just comb through it, with metal detectors, with just all the technology that they have to be able to find it, because, I mean, that would help in so many ways. But it's just wild to me that they opened the park up just days after, and it's like they never found it. It's very suspicious. Sky says, yeah, they may have already found the gun. And that's another thing. We don't know. Maybe they have found the weapon. We don't know. That information, like what we got today, is all very new. It doesn't come as much of a surprise to people. Obviously, a lot of people weren't surprised on that information, but they could be coming out with more information in the coming days, of course. So that'll be interesting to see. Let's go to the next thing here. So let's see. They may have already found the gun. They may have already found the gun, but are keeping it quiet till the investigation continues, says Monica. Yeah. Psy ASMR says, I am sure Chris and Roberta will find the gun before the FBI does. Yeah, my goodness. Anyways, so let's go to, in no particular order, I just popped up some articles, and so we're on CNN first, it looks like, and obviously the title is very short. Autopsy shows Brian Laundrie died by suicide. Per the attorney, Brian Laundrie died by suicide from a gunshot wound to the head. An attorney for the Laundrie family told CNN on Tuesday. My thoughts are like, are they not going to come out with an official statement from, how Gabby, when they released the autopsy cause of death in the Tetons, they had somebody come forward that was part of that autopsy process. And we all remember, like, that guy was so all over the place and just did not, I mean, he wasn't able to say everything that we wanted out of that and answer questions that people had. But my thoughts are like, is someone going to come forward? And they may have. I'm just now combing through the article, but did someone actually come forward as well, or was it just the people, are we just going off the word from the lawyer? And Alicia, yes, let's gently tap that like button. We're almost to 100. There's 162 people in here. So just, if you're in here, hit that like button. Let's get it over 100, and let's keep on going. Let's get the stream out there to new people. Chris Davis says, my wild theory is that dad found him and took the gun same day they retrieved the Mustang. You don't leave your live son in the swamp. Yeah, you never know. I'm not entirely sure. 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Oh, okay. So that's like Denver, like Mountain Time. Okay, so that would be 3 p.m. my time. Okay. If there is there a press conference? That would be nice. And if that's the case, we should at least stream until the press conference. If that's in 50. Wait. No. 1 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm in the Midwest now. I'm confused. I'm not in Miami right now. So that would just be noon. No. 2? I don't know, guys. I'm confused. Shouldn't that mean there's a press conference already? I believe one of the family members, which is mom or dad, shot him in the head to make it look like the suicide. Ooh, man, I don't know. I'd be surprised with that, but who knows? Okay, so let's keep reading. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have informed that the cause of death was a gunshot wound. Have been informed, not have informed. That the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head and the manner of death was suicide. It's so odd that they can just confirm that, or at least say that that's what they think it is, when there's no other, like, what is their evidence drawn, like, what is that based off of, right? Because technically, and I don't think that this happened, but I mean, someone else could have shot him. Like, if there's no gun, you would think that they would be even leaning more towards somebody killing Brian. So it's odd to me that they came to that conclusion with just such little evidence overall with how partial the remains were. But then again, like I said, if there's some sort of an actual statement later, maybe we will have more information. Laundrie's remains were found in Florida, in a Florida nature reserve last month after a weeks-long manhunt. He disappeared just days after fiancée Gabby Petito was reported missing. The couple had been traveling across the country. We all know this. The case gained national attention. Yeah, these articles are going to be really short, guys. Eastern time, Central time, Mountain time, Pacific. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Linda. So that would mean that 1 p.m. Mountain time would be 2 p.m. Central time. So Debbie says it was on at 2 p.m. Central time. So let's look for that press conference in a moment. Maybe a hole or partial hole in the jaw. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely indicate gunshot wound, obviously, depending on how much of a partial skull that they had. But even then, it's like, how would they rule it a suicide? I mean, likely. Likely it was. I believe they did find a gun, says Caribbean Kool-Aid. When was that gunshot noise? There was a gunshot noise that Chris from Northport Live heard, I think on October 12th. I'll have to look into that footage, Nella. I'll have to look into that footage during the stream here, and maybe we can go back and listen to that. Actually, you know what I could do? I should be able to play it. So 1 second. Let me go live, or let me go full screen here. Oh no, I don't have that hard drive plugged in. You have to remember that the mother came home with the Mustang, and the authorities thought that was Brian. This is before they reported the Mustang or Brian leaving or missing. Susie says, I think the gunshot heard was October 9th. I actually think you're right on that. Yeah. The Notebook may have something they're not releasing. Maybe. Oh, no press conference, only a press release. So let's look up the press release. Let's hope. Yeah, Jessica. Doug Live from Northport. That's exactly who it was. Hey Shay, how's it going? Let's see. It's the 23rd. Let's look at the top stories. View all. Sky says, I'm just curious about the notebook. Yeah, his notebook, definitely. Yeah, Chris says they've had plenty of time to diagnose that notebook. I completely agree. I'm not seeing the press release. Would that have been the Denver FBI? I feel like that was the Denver FBI. That was the main person on the case. FBI Denver here. Let's see. Yeah, they don't have anything today. Shay, thank you. Yeah, my coverage is a little bit off today. I'm not in my normal setup, so bear with me on the quality of everything. I just don't have everything set up perfectly right now, but I'm doing my best. And of course, when I heard this morning that they were potentially going to release information about Brian either today or tomorrow, I was hoping that it would happen tomorrow so I would have more time to, prep. But then, of course, the news came out. So it was on October 9th that the gunshot was heard. Thank you for that, Alicia. And I have the video here. I'll pull it up in just a moment. Someone says WFLA just had it. Police sent them a copy of it. Okay. Let's 1 second. WFLA, which I believe they're probably live now, right? Unless they're live right now. Which, what the hell is that? Like I said, the audio is going to be weird. I'm going to actually set my mic a little closer to it for the time being, and then I'll pull up that other clip. So 1 moment. Oh, it looks like they maybe just ended their stream or they're taking a break. Yeah, Birdie, I'm going to try to zoom back or go back. Let's see, about 20 minutes roughly. We'll see. Chris, the gunshot was on October 9th, reportedly. Yes, they are still live waiting. Let's see. They're live now. Back it up to find it. Yeah, I'm trying to back up and find it right now. I have it pulled up here.
It may be on here. They're seeing it on TV, and all of a sudden people can be proactive and take action. The challenge is, though, what I'm still noticing that's pretty archaic is the communication between law enforcement agencies. You could have a law enforcement agency on the East Coast and something like somebody in San Diego, California, almost with this Clear case, something similar. It took a long time to get an Amber Alert announced, and I don't think they were necessarily sharing information as well as they could have been. And this really gets detrimental when it's a smaller town police department, or you're kind of out in the country where they don't have a ton of story. Literally 20.
FBI Denver update. The FBI is working with our partners to. Oh wait, this is from September 16th.
Years ago, and think of the technology now, but 20 years ago with the DCI back in the Midwest, and they actually showed.
Birdie says too far back. Go forward. Okay, so here we go. Thank you, Birdie. Like I said, the audio is not great right now, guys. It's just coming through my mic, but I appreciate you still stopping by.
Breaking news on WFLA now. Here's JB Buno.
Here's the document put out moments ago from the District 12 medical exam. Examiner's Office, detailing that the cause of death is determined to be a gunshot wound of the head. For 23-year-old Brian Laundrie, the manner of death has been determined to be a suicide. Hey there, everybody. JB Buno here with you live on WFLA Now. Live only on YouTube, WFLA.com, the WFLA app. We're working on potentially getting another Facebook stream organized for our Facebook audience here momentarily. But this is the release that was just sent out, and like clockwork, right at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, the Medical Examiner's Office, District 12, that's primarily Sarasota. That's the Medical Examiner's Office that we have been calling repeatedly over the last several weeks, especially trying to get an update. This document has been put out. It was sent over our way by law enforcement, and I'm going to read it as follows for our audience that's it's might be on a cell phone. It's kind of hard to see when it's in the palm of your hand, but I'll read as follows. November 23rd, 2021, on the death of Brian C. Laundrie. The District 12 Medical Examiner's Office has completed our investigation into the death of Brian C. Laundrie. The investigation included the following: scene response by medical examiner personnel, complete examination of the recovered skeletal remains, consultation with a forensic ontologist, including dental comparison for identification, consultation with a forensic anthropologist, including skeletal reconstruction, confirmation of the identity of the remains by both dental comparison and DNA analysis. The cause of death has been determined to be gunshot wound to the head. The manner of death has been determined to be suicide. Complete signed reports will be on file at the District 12 Medical Examiner's Office in accordance with Florida statutes, and at the request of the FBI, these reports and other information pertaining to the medical examiner's investigation of Mr. Laundrie's death may not be made public or released until the law enforcement investigation is complete. That last paragraph, what that says is, what that translates to is, this is what we have for the time being, and anything else that would get released, any information uncovered by the medical examiner's office, that's not going to be released by them. It's going to be released, or if it is released by them, it's not going to be until the FBI concludes their ongoing investigation. So scene response, complete examination, ontologist, anthropologist, odontologist is the correct pronunciation, anthropologist, confirmation of the identity of the remains by both dental comparison and DNA analysis. People were asking in our previous stream about DNA analysis. We're going to try to get up on stream with more of our WFLA staff momentarily as soon as we have more information to pass along. That's being organized for the next several minutes ahead here live on WFLA Now. We'll be right back.
Okay, so some people were saying that it sounds fine. I was holding the mic just in front of the speaker, so I kind of have to makeshift all of this. Lone Seagull, thank you so much for the super chat, or the super sticker, really. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So it looks like that's what they have as of right now, and it looks like they just came back about a minute ago, so we can tune back in a moment. But let's read some of the comments. Lone Seagull, thanks again for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Let's get the likes. Let's get to 200 likes. We're at 238 people. We're at 161 likes. Let's do a like train here. Gently tap the like button, and we can get the stream out to more people and go from there. But yeah, oh my goodness, let's read some of these comments, because yeah, the notebook is going to reveal so much. He said that that no more information will likely come out until the FBI has concluded its investigation. And so I'm curious on what they mean by that, if it's just the Brian portion of it, because I know that all of it is kind of still open right now. And yeah, Birdie, he's back on. So I'm going to go back to JB, and we're going to listen in once again. He's probably just going to say some of the same stuff, but hey, we're all just kind of taking in the information together. And like I said, I'm going to be in the comments, reading your guys' comments as this is happening, and we'll just continue to chat. Thank you for hitting like from Canada.
Hey everybody, JB Buno here with you live on WFLA Now. To our very patient YouTube audience, thanks so much for sticking around with us. We're going to try to go over the latest of what this means and where this goes from here. But if you're just joining us, Brian Laundrie's death officially has been ruled a suicide, and the cause of death a gunshot wound of the head, according to the District 12 Medical Examiner's Office. Social media, of course, talking about this news back and forth. A lot of folks talking about what this means. And really the big question that is surfacing on social media is, where is the firearm? Where is the gun? And when are we going to get answers from the FBI? So we're going to stay here with you live on WFLA Now. We might be having a Facebook live stream here momentarily. Depends on all the inner workings of what goes on behind the scenes here at WFLA. In the meantime, can't just let you guys look at the same "We'll Be Right Back" slate over and over again and listen to the same music over and over again. So let's see who we got. Well, let's head over to the YouTube live comment section. Sharon O'Neill saying hello. We've got Carla Dinsmore. Glad JB is back. Jim Hawthorne calling for Masa Saidi, who's currently working on another investigation. She's about 20 feet behind me, working on another investigation. Connor saying hello. Nelly saying hello. Chris V throwing out the peace sign. Hello to everybody on YouTube. So let's talk to you, YouTube, what this means going forward. Brian Laundrie went into the Carlton Reserve and took his own life, is what this means. And we have some interesting bullet points to go over. And let me make sure that I bring this up so that I can read it in front of me here on this screen. And the investigation including the following, according to D12, the District 12 Medical Examiner's Office. Scene response by medical examiner personnel. We knew that. That was the medical examiner's office getting there to the scene that day at the Carlton Reserve. Complete examination of the recovered skeletal remains. This is, of course, something else that we knew as well. They were going to, not only did they recover the skeletal remains, but they did a complete examination of those skeletal remains. Consultation with a forensic odontologist, including dental comparison.
So as he's going through this, we're actually going to pause for a moment because some people have been commenting about the gunshot, and I feel like it's worth going over very quickly from Doug live at Northport. And like I said, I know I'm just holding my mic up to the camera here, or to the speaker, but let's do this really quick, and then we'll tune back into JB. I know he was kind of going back and forth chatting with his live audience as well, so let's go ahead and do this. So the video is at the 16:28 mark of the video that was posted on October 9th. They streamed, I believe, on October 9th. So this is from October 9th, and it looks like an ad's going to play in a moment. So I will skip through that in a second and read a couple of these comments. I feel like the Laundries have the gun. Someone mentioned, do they have the gun that was mentioned earlier, like a few weeks ago or even almost a month ago now, that was found further away but still in Florida? Yeah, that was taken in for questioning, or for examination. So yeah, they definitely have that gun. I'm not sure if that's related to anything, obviously. But yeah, how many skull fragments were there? Who knows? All right, so anyways, let's go ahead and play this. It's sometime around the 1640 mark of this video from Doug live at Northport. Doug live Northport, yeah. All right, we'll be able to hear it if I turn it up a little bit.
I think so. Yeah, I'm going in the best spray too. It's nice. Oh gosh, bugs. You got hurt. Shotgun.
So it's really hard to hear. And actually, it just made me think about it. I made a video from one of my previous streams that I should play because I enhanced the audio on that. So I'm actually going to go to one of my previous streams and find that video very briefly, and we'll play it because I actually have a timer to count down for when the gunshot happens. And so it's a little bit easier to anticipate it. Yeah, it's around the 17-minute mark, but yeah, it's all good. Let's go to my last live stream. Tiffany says, I heard it. Yeah, it's very faint in the video, but it is the video from October 9th from Doug Live Northport. If you guys want to go check it out yourselves, it looks like a lot of people say they can hear it. Debbie says I can barely hear it. Yeah, I'll try to pull up my video. HM says sounded far off. The thing about it, HM, is where they were at in that video. I've actually been, so I went out to the reserve. If you guys are new to the channel, I went out to the reserve and flew my drone around a couple weeks after they found Brian. And where they were at in the video was actually near the parking lot, which is, it's close, but it's close, or it's far enough to where a gunshot would be pretty faint. So I don't know. Thanks for doing this, Aaron. Yeah, of course. Vicky, Tammy, I heard the shots. Intangible Ram says I heard it. Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of people heard it. So I won't. Yeah, I'll still go back and play this briefly. I'll try to find it. But yeah, it was on October 9th. So some people think some theories are that Brian went out to the reserve and tried to hide. That's why he had some of his items with him. And he continued to remain at the reserve until he eventually knew it wasn't going to work out and he ended his life. I'm not sure if that's what happened or not. But it is possible, obviously. Anything is possible. I can't remember if this was from the Allie and Dan Road Life Blueprint video, but we're going to scrub through. Debbie says it's the 16:55 mark. Thank you, Debbie. Close to the 17-minute mark. I'm trying to find. I'm looking through my old video here, trying to find it, and I can't seem to find it. But a lot of people said they mentioned or that they could hear it. So we're gonna. We don't need to necessarily go back and find it, but I will at the end of this video end up linking it. And if Alicia, if she's able to link any other YouTube videos, she could of course link Doug's video in the chat if that is possible. So anyways, let's read some of these comments here and then we'll dive back in to the JB stream from WFLA and continue on. Kitty says, I love Doug. Yeah, I've watched a few of his videos through all of this as well. I think he went to the reserve to end his life, not hide. Yeah, Ginger, I think you're probably right. Obviously, all of the evidence that we have so far basically just points at that. Blue Angel says, it would take much longer for the body to decompose to bones. October 9th till he was found is not long enough to just find bones. It's a good point. October 9th, and then they found his body on the 20th. So yeah, I mean, 11 days. That's not very long at all. Of course, if you were eaten and passed through an animal of some sort, then possibly, I guess. Then again, I'm not an expert on any of this. So Paul K says, can you do a quick timeline? Paul, in regards to when Brian was back and potentially entered the reserve, or a timeline from like this entire case, because it can get pretty deep at this point. And I know I've done past live streams to definitely go back into on their entire trip, because I did an entire timeline of their trip. It's super detailed, but let me know if you want to what you want a brief timeline of. I can maybe go through it. We'll read some more of these comments. We're going to dive back into the WFLA footage, and I'll like I said, I'll keep reading your comments. We'll go from there.
Consultation with a forensic anthropologist for skeletal reconstruction. That's interesting. Skeletal reconstruction is interesting. Confirmation of the identity of the remains by both dental comparison and DNA analysis. So DNA analysis has been done and confirms what the dental comparison told them, that this is Brian Laundrie. And there have been so many people who have been commenting and messaging me saying, JB, is he really dead? JB, is he really deceased? JB, I don't believe it. JB, I still think that he got away. And hopefully this puts that all to rest. Not only do they have the thorough dental comparison that was done, but a DNA analysis also was done as well to confirm the identity of the remains, that is Brian Laundrie there at the Carlton Reserve, the remains that were found. Let's see here. So, skeletal reconstruction. And I want to get to some of the YouTube comments that are coming in as well. You know, so people who have been asking about the gun, where is the gun? I said on the previous stream or earlier on in this stream, I would be absolutely shocked if the gun wasn't in the possession of the FBI. But let's not forget, too, that the FBI also did miss some of the belongings that were there, some of the things that were later found by members of the public. At the Carlton Reserve.
The water bottle.
So is there a chance that the FBI didn't recover a firearm? I guess it's entirely possible, but we really just don't know what the FBI has in their possession. We do know that they have a book bag. We do know that they have the notebook. We don't know if they have a firearm. And that's going to be very interesting to find out if there is, in fact, a firearm that was obtained by the FBI at the Carlton Reserve. I'm getting a call here from 8 on Your Side investigator Walt Buteau.
Getting a call from someone. We'll see what this is.
So we don't know if a gun was found. So to Belinda Edwards in the comment section, #HJB, was a gun found? We don't know if a gun was discovered. We just know that that human remains were discovered, skeletal remains were discovered. Tinkerbell Tina, #HJB, a suicide note.
So he is
well.
he is running through some questions, so I may as well just be answering your guys' questions and going through some of your stuff that you're chatting about, so we can have our discussion here. Obviously, like I said, if you end up hopping over to different streams, it just helps out to keep streams tabbed. So open a new tab if you're on a computer. So if you do want to continue watching the WFLA footage, I completely understand. But if he's just going to be chatting back and forth, I think he kind of went through everything so far. So I'm going to continue moving on and chatting with you guys in the comments. I have another poll going up, and this is a controversial one, and I'm curious as to, out of the 266 people that are in here right now, that's what it's showing for me anyways, I would like every person to try to vote if you're able to. I'm not sure if you're able to vote on mobile or not, but I want to know, because I know, like he just said, and some people asked about the gun, do you think that they have the gun? He even said the same thing. He would be surprised if the FBI doesn't have the gun. And I feel the same way. I think they probably do. I think that they probably wouldn't have left the reserve unless they had something that could point towards the cause. You know what I mean? They would have probably kept the reserve closed down for so much longer. So I bet that they probably do. But there are still so many people that don't believe that he's dead. And that's fine. You're able to have that thought, any opinion about the case and any other case. But with the information that is out, I'm just curious as to what you guys think. Do you think that Brian Laundrie is actually dead? And I'll leave this up for a while. And like I said, vote however you want to vote. You have every right to believe whatever you want to believe. But I'm just I'm curious. So Siegel, thanks again. Oh my goodness, Siegel, thank you for the super chat. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Siegel. Hopefully you are enjoying your week. It's a short work week. I'm not sure if you're working, but if you're not, well, I mean, right now you're tuned into the stream, so thank you for tuning into the stream. But whatever you end up getting into later this week, hopefully you enjoy it and you're able to see people that you love and eat some good food. So thanks again for the super chat, Siegel. Let's read. Cheryl says, too many unanswered questions. They wouldn't have ruled suicide if Gunn wasn't around, says Britt. That's a good point. Let's look at some of these coming in. So yeah, we have over half of the 113 people that have voted have said yes. And a lot of people reach out to me on DMs and just ask like truly what I think about the situation. And I want to say that, yeah, I think Brian Laundrie is dead, but it doesn't go without saying that there was so many things that fell through the cracks in this case. There's so many things about this case that are just suspicious and odd. And then, of course, the parents, which they had every right to remain silent, but the parents also being so quiet up front, and just it's hard to even think about all the different things that happened with this case that rubbed me the wrong way. But that is where I'm at with it. Is yes, I do think he's probably dead, but that doesn't mean that there's not certain things about this case that are just confusing still, right? Kushu, thank you for the super sticker. Kushu, really, really appreciate it. The $2 super sticker. Thank you. I appreciate it. I like your profile picture. Is that your cat? Also, is that a cat in the super sticker, or is that a dog? It kind of looks like the Dogecoin dog. Thank you for that. Oh, hey, Kays, how's it going? I'm thinking they must have found the gun and maybe only his prints were on it. That would be surprising. I mean, if the gun was out there in the mud and in the rain and potentially being moved around, I mean, I don't know how prints work, but I mean, they could definitely, hopefully get some sort of DNA off of it, but I'm not sure. Shelly, just got here, my first live. Did he say they have confirmed his DNA? It does sound like, yeah, confirmation of the identity of the remains by both dental comparisons and DNA analysis. And it's hard to see right here. I've got the WFLA footage coverage going on in the background. This statement by the District 12 examiner in Sarasota, Florida, did confirm, and you can see my mouse right down here. It's kind of a blurry photo, but yeah, apparently they did confirm it with DNA analysis. So I'm not sure what that was, how that was done, based on what exactly, but apparently, yes, they were. Could they at least tell us a bit more than they have? We've all been waiting so long, says Tammy. Yeah, that's a thing. When there's a case like this, like think about, I mean, there's so many cases. Just think about like the OJ case or some of the big cases that happened back in the day. The people following those cases live had to wait so long for certain things to happen. And that's kind of where we're at right now, is it feels like we're waiting so long for these answers. But in reality, this is all, I mean, it hasn't happened fast, but it has happened pretty quickly. I mean, it's been a month and 3 days since they found Brian, and it's been a long month just speculating on what possibly could have happened. But I mean, it's the way it is, right? Like things like this take a long, long time. So when we see documentaries on Netflix, like true crime documentaries, we get to just see it unfold episode by episode. And we get to see, I mean, I just watched The Staircase, about the writer Michael Peterson. I don't know if you guys have seen that or heard about that story, but that was a case that spanned, over 15 years. And so just to think that they covered it and documented it for that long, it took so long for the documentary to come out. So eventually someday there will be some sort of a documentary about this, and we'll all hopefully have more answers and be able to see, more into the case. But this case has aged me 10 years. I feel that. They retrieved the gun used in the Moab girls case already. Oh, did they? Watchman? Do you think the parents could have shot him, then brought back the gun and Mustang, says Cindy? I don't think so. I'll just say that. I think it's like, why? Why would they do that? But then again, I don't know. We'll see. And yes, the documentary about Michael Peterson, it's called The Staircase, and it is on Netflix, Kitty. It was a long watch. But it was good. Overall, it was pretty good. Thank you. Oh, wait, that's Kushu. Thank you for the super sticker again, Kushu. Let's see. What are some other comments? JTube. Yo, what's up, JTube? I think he is probably dead, but the parents hindered the situation regarding Gabby's death and helped Brian's escape. Yeah, I think at the very least, them not saying something showed how they feel about Gabby. I mean, it's like pretty unfortunate the way that they just didn't say anything about it. And someone tweeted actually on October 26th, "Home sweet home, nothing like bringing back a bag full of holiday cheer in one hand and a poster of the girl your son murdered in the other. Do they have no conscience? Is this grief? What are they effing thinking? How can they continue to live day by day?" And this is the photos that she's referring to. Did someone else just send a super chat that I missed? Oh, yeah, Marcy. Thank you for the super sticker, Marcy. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I'm seeing some new names in the chat. Of course, we have Cindy, we have Alicia, we have Ginger, we have J2, we have so many. We have Shay and Kays. So many of these familiar faces or names in the chat. But I'm seeing some new usernames. So thank you all for being here. And we passed 250 likes. That's amazing. Thank you guys for engaging with the stream. And yeah, thanks for the super chats and super stickers, everyone. It's good to have some new people in the chat. Nothing like bringing home. Yeah, so this is them with a bag, Christmas bag of some sort. Someone said that this is the My Life Mattered poster, and this is Gabby on it. I don't know if they got this from the yard and just picked it up. It's potentially there is still, items in the yard and near the yard that could have blown around. So they could have just been bringing this inside, so it wasn't just on the yard or, blowing around all over the place. So I'm not sure why else they would have had that. But yeah, this is who they thought was Chris Laundrie or Brian Laundrie, everyone. Let's see. Continuing on. Peace, joy, love. I'm here. I just have you on the TV today. Oh, thank you, Mimi. Appreciate you. What is this? Okay, I don't believe the hand theory, but I found a series of images on how to build a bunker. Oh, this is all. Yeah, I've seen this. Remember when this case, there was a bunker theory? Some people still think that there's a possibility. Night Owl says maybe everything is possible. Anyways, continuing on. Let's go to all of these articles, like I said, are going to basically reveal the same thing. Chris and Roberta Laundrie have been informed that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head. So yeah, let's go to so we have 230 votes currently on the poll that is running right now, and 70% believe that Brian Laundrie is dead and 30% believe no. So let's see. Lindsay says, I never bought the bunker thing. Yeah. Cheryl, I have mixed feelings about this, about his parents. They seem suspicious, like they're hiding information, and yet they seem like victims in all of this as well. Well, the thing about it is, they are technically victims at this point, and the suspicion from them being so quiet about it doesn't necessarily imply that they were involved in a way that was malicious, or I think the fact that they just didn't respond to even Gabby being missing and saying something that was helpful, of like, we're going to try to do whatever we can to get Gabby back, or to find Gabby and help figure it out. That is what is like unfortunate to me, is like they never spoke up. But them just being quiet, I mean, that is their right, and it's just unfortunate because it just didn't look good in general. Oh my gosh, 300 viewers. Thank you to the 300 people that are in here. Everyone's been hitting the like button too. I mean, we're at 288 likes, so that's super helpful. What did Raindrops say here? What did I miss? Let's see. Hey Soma. Hey Aaron. Hey Soma. What are people saying here? Yeah, the bunker theory. A lot of people didn't believe that right away. Gotta send Aaron a photo after when it arrives. Oh, Raindrops, did you get a mug? Is that what you were commenting on? Yes, if anyone got a mug, I don't have them with me right now. I didn't travel with mine, but it's the Mulling Over Maps mugs. They're linked down below. I really appreciate the support on those mugs. People have been awesome on snagging those. They definitely help with future projects. The documentary specifically that I'm going to be working on heavily after the new year. Let's see what people are saying. It's their right, but it's not their right. But it's not right to leave the mom of Gabby with nothing. It's just inhumane. It's extremely hard to find prints on a gun in normal circumstances. Guns have grips, which are not conducive to holding onto prints due to the texture. Thanks, Donna. The green one is pretty. Oh, thank you, Raindrops. Yeah, it looks pretty good. That's the one I got, and yeah, I got a test mug to see and make sure the quality was at least good enough, and it definitely is. Paul, thank you for the thumbs up super sticker. Really appreciate it, Paul. 313 likes. Wow, that's awesome. JTube, no, Alicia is not Beautiful Wife. No, Alicia is a friend. Beautiful Wife is not on YouTube. She watches videos. She watches YouTube, but she's not involved in the stream in any way. Alicia is just someone who was a viewer or who I found through other streams around the time that all this was happening, and has just been kind enough to help out with the stream in so many ways than just being here during the live stream. So really appreciate Alicia. A lot of people have been showing her some love. I've gotten some messages lately talking about Alicia. So yeah, Alicia's been great and super helpful. So thumbs up to Alicia. Thanks for the thumbs up, Paul. Super sticker. Let's see here. So I really don't think there's any more information. I mean, all of these articles are saying the same thing, that, you know, the Chris and Roberta have been informed that this is the cause of death. This is the manner. If we go back, I mean, we can go back to the footage, maybe 10 minutes. I'll scrub back and just see what he's talking about. JB anyways. Lone Seagull just ordered my mug. Siegel, thank you so much. You've supported the stream heavily today with the super chats, super stickers, and the mug purchase. That's amazing. You're incredible. Grab a carrot and bop that like button. Thank you. Incredible. Thank you guys so much. Marin says, so they found half a skull. Yeah, I don't know. It said something about fragmented pieces. I'm not sure. So let's tune back in on JB real quick and see what he's saying. And I'm going to keep the screen looking like this right now. No, maybe I'll go full screen. I'll go to this. I'll go to this and go full screen. Once again, I'm looking at the chat. Beautiful Wife is such a good sport with your YouTube obsession. Yeah, she's great. She's great. She's going to be coming back to the Midwest tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to seeing her. All right, let's see what he says here.
Much more challenging to determine things like a potential time of death, but we don't have that here in this document. It's widely believed that his remains were there for some time because they were skeletal. So, and Northport police have commented that it's in all likelihood that he went into the Carlton Reserve and within days, if not within a day, was dead. And then now, as we know, dead by suicide. So, but we definitively...
Thanks for stopping by, Tammy. See you in the next one.
Ellen Underwood, hashtag HAB. Has there been a response from the Patino and Schmidt family? Hey, from the UK. I have been checking my phone. Nothing from the Petitos, nothing from the Schmidts.
So nothing from the Petitos and nothing from the Schmidts right now. I was curious about that too, if they would have a statement. But Freebird, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Happy Thanksgiving, Aaron. Thanks for all you do. I do not believe this. Where is the gun? That's what I was talking about earlier, Freebird. It's like, I'm curious as to what people's thoughts are on this. I know that there could be still a gun that they just haven't mentioned being obtained because it is still ongoing. So obviously, if that kind of stuff comes out, I mean, would that be enough to change your mind, for instance, Freebird? But thank you so much for chiming in. It's good to see you here, Freebird. I was wondering if you were in the chat and I just missed you. And then there you are with the $20 super sticker or super chat. So thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. Really appreciate the support.
This day for them is strange, because it tells us something but tells us nothing all at the same time. Or maybe for them it tells them more. And you know what? I'd be very curious to ask them when they found out this information.
Yeah.
Have they known for some time? Have they known for? And when I say sometime, did they find out around the same time this afternoon as the Laundrie family, or soon thereafter? But no, to answer your question, I've not heard from the Schmitz or the Petitos today, Gabby Petito's family. All right, folks, I'm going to step away for a moment. And by a moment, I mean we're going to be back live.
So they're going to be back live here soon. I'm going to just keep his stream up in the background. Man, WFLA has been doing just incredible with all of this coverage. And I know that they're one of the main news networks that's in the area of Northport. But, man, they've just done so much. And, I mean, you guys have to realize they're covering so much just in day-to-day as well. So to be able to continue to cover this story, awesome job from WFLA. They've done just a great job. Aaron, you have more likes than people in the chat right now. Yeah, Siegel. It's nice that people have jumped in and given it a like, and you know, even if they can't stay for long and stick around, it's nice that people have hit the like button. So to anyone who's in here who hasn't hit the like button, we can get that number even higher. John says, is it by hanging or gun? I think they said gunshot wound to the head. Yeah. Or I know they said that. So, Alicia says, I think they've known because Gabby's dad seemed very sure in a press conference he would get answers. Yeah, I think so too. I think the parents have known for a fair amount of time. J2 says, I'm guessing they can find gunpowder residue in the skull even after being submerged for a while. Yeah, I think depending on the situation, I mean, heat and like burns, things like that are evident even if they've gotten wet. Char marks, things like that. So that's a possibility. Rodney asked, how many other human remains did they find? Easy to put a tooth in, that one that has been in water for ever and a day. Easy to pull out a tooth? I don't know exactly what you meant there. Pout a tooth. I don't know how many other remains they found. That's a good question. What date did he go to the reserve, Paul? I don't know. Hard to say. Chris went to look for him initially on October 7th, and then they found him on the 20th. I might be wrong on that. Sorry, it's so many dates. I think Dad Laundrie found the gun while there and took it, so Brian can't be pinned for the other two murders in Moab. Laura's coming in with a saucy comment, because that's a lot of people are still definitely convinced that the Moab situation, that Brian has something to do with that. So let me quickly check a couple of things. I'm liking these comments coming through, guys. I really appreciate you guys engaging with the stream. Do you think? Yeah. So anyways, to wrap that other comment or poll up, we had 330 votes. The majority of the people in here do believe that Brian is actually dead, but the 32% that don't, I don't know what that number would be, but like I said, I'm curious what it would take to fully get you to believe or be convinced that it is indeed Brian. But interesting nonetheless to see that information. So let me do one more poll real quick. based on what we just heard from WFLA. So, do you think it has been known that Brian died by suicide for some time? Do you think they've had this information for a while? And like some people were saying with Gabby's parents, they haven't really commented on this. It could be that they knew. It could be that they were aware. He made it very clear that he was pretty sure that they would get some answers relatively soon. So I'm curious as to what you guys think. Have they known for a while? Have they known for several weeks and they're just still continuing to put pieces together in the case? And I'm also curious, do you guys think that the case will have another development prior to, say, Christmas, right? I know that this has all taken a while just for this information, but I'm curious what you guys think. Penmar, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Indeed. Cindy, that's a good question. I will do that poll next, Cindy. That's a good question for sure. And I'm curious about that. Raindrop says 100% sus, very sus. Or sorry, Raindrop says I don't believe he's dead. Siegel says 100% very suspicious. Cynthia, I think he's alive. Yeah. Rewrite the poll question in English, please. Did I completely butcher it? Do you think has been known? Sorry, guys. Can I edit the poll? Just know that I mean, do you think it has been known? Thanks for calling out my quick writing on that one there. But yeah, do you think it has been known for a while that Brian died by suicide? Yes, I think the FBI will release information to announce they have evidence and believe Brian Laundrie killed Gabby. That's another thing, JTube, is that there's so many people that are 100%, they're not going to back down from this case until they know what happened to Gabby. You know, it was so quick to just move on from Gabby and not give out that information. And I know that Brian was the sole suspect in Gabby's death. So I think it's just going to take some time. There's too many things, too many moving parts that they need everything to kind of line up. Now that they have this information out, they maybe will start to put out some more information potentially around the notebook. I know that's the biggest thing, that besides the gun being found, like what was in the notebook, right? What's taking so long? As that stuff comes out, hopefully they will put some more information out for people. It looks like JB is coming back, unless that was just an animation there on their screen. But let's keep the comments rolling. I don't think the parents would shoot their child. Yeah, Ginger, I don't think so either. Blue Angel, I believe the Laundries are mob involved. Just my opinion. Well, that's an interesting opinion. I mean, I'm curious, what made you come to that, not conclusion, but idea? No date given either, or approximate date of death. Yeah, I don't believe so, Daniel. They just confirmed that there was DNA that they matched in addition to the dental records, the bones. Driscoll, yeah, I looked into the Moab murders on a previous stream a little bit. I haven't dove in super deep on that case. That would be one that I want to sit down and really research ahead of time and actually map out based on the day that Crystal and Kylan ended up potentially going out to the LaSalle Mountains. That's a really good idea, and that's definitely something I'm going to do in a future stream, in a future video. So subscribe if you haven't already. And of the 300-ish people that are in here, also, if you'd like to hit the subscribe button, that would be incredible, because there's going to be more streams, not only around the Gabby Petito case, but Summer Wells, and like I just said, the Moab murders. So definitely hit that subscribe button. I feel the Laundries knew that Gabby was dead on his way home. His Spotify playlist is creepy on his way home. Yeah, I believe that they knew shortly after him coming back that something terrible had happened. I don't know if Brian told the truth fully, or if he just lied and said that, they had broken up, or, that they were going through a rough patch. They knew something. And then, of course, when he went missing, they probably knew it wasn't good. And then they just remained silent, likely. Raindrop, sorry if you mentioned this, but where on the skull was the gunshot? I don't think that they mentioned that, Raindrops. I'll have to look back into it in a second. And if I would assume if JB of WFLA comes back on here soon, he's going to probably do a brief overview. But I don't think they specified the location of the shot. Thank you for your coverage from Oregon. Well, thank you for watching from Oregon. Appreciate it. People need to realize, so this is Susan. People need to realize Brian is dead. He killed himself with a gun, and the FBI will give more details later. It could be the gun had been found initially and kept from being released. Yeah, I think likely that is the case, that the gun was found initially as well. Or else it would be really hard for them to put out this information confirming that it was a gunshot wound without them confirming that they have the actual evidence of the gun, right? Because then it'd be like, one could just say, well, maybe he was murdered by someone else if we can't confirm. So, they likely have a gun with his DNA on it to confirm that it was indeed suicide. I'm trying to drink further away from the camera because once again, I had more people hit me up about how I was slurping. I'm so sorry. ASMR. All right. Great stream. Unfortunately, kiddos need to go do homework. Keep up the good work. Alexa, well, get those kiddos doing their homework, and have a great Thanksgiving. If you celebrate, just enjoy the rest of your week. And thanks for stopping by the stream for the amount of time that you did. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day. John asked, did they find any of his clothing? I think they found I know they found the backpack and the notebook. I don't know how much clothing was found. Debbie says the Laundries have connections possibly with the mob. I think it's all a cover up. Brian is long gone in another country where he will never be found. Brenda says, I've heard that Brian is on the bottom of a list of other efficiency to 3 other guys. Oh, that have been found. I don't know. Blue Angel slurp. Let's see. Skyray, let this man hydrate. Thank you, Sky. Hydration is key, which there's actually this right in front of me too. I'm staying with some friends before I go see my family. There's also a little bit of wine as well. We could definitely hydrate. We would have to drink more water if we started drinking all this. We could have a real saucy stream if we wanted to just start drinking. Poll number 3. Cindy, let me roll through with that next poll. I appreciate you reminding me. We're going to get the next poll rolling. I took a photo of your comment so we can refer to that. Let me get that pulled up. So a lot of people, the poll from 8 minutes ago, a lot of people think that, yes, they had known for quite some time. I definitely think it's at least a week or two that they had known this information because they need to prepare their information and confirm it and just have a rollout plan. They're not just going to come out with it immediately. So anyways, what are people saying? Thanks for the show. Thank you, Night Owl. Thank you, Mystery Girl. Cheers, Sky. All right, we're going to put another poll up real quick. I'm curious. This is one from Cindy, a suggested poll from Cindy. So we're going to end this current poll and we're going to pull up or we're going to write up another poll here. So let's wait for it to become available. Definitely hit that like button, guys. We crossed 400 likes. We only have 315 people in here, so clearly people are showing the support before they head out the door. So if you are just here popping in and out between streams or just checking it out for a moment, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. All right, I'm going to get Cindy's question up here. Do you think... All right, I got to phrase this correctly. Do you think? Here we go. All right, so I had to word this a little bit differently just so I don't pin myself in a corner of accusations here. But I was going to say, do you think the parents knew that Brian killed Gabby, or do you think the parents knew what Brian did to Gabby? But I reworded it to, do you think the parents knew about what happened? I should have just said, do you think the parents knew what happened to Gabby when Brian came home? Once again, I'm all over the place with my wording on these, but this is a question that Cindy was curious about, and I'm curious about too, about what you guys think. Do you think that shortly after Brian came home, he told the truth, or they found out in some way about what happened to Gabby? Of course, the flood of responses is already overwhelmingly yes of the 80 people that have already voted, and I completely agree. I think that they knew something at the very least. Driscoll says no. Okay. I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say I don't know. I shouldn't say that I think they knew specifically what happened, but that they knew that he told them. Of course, he probably told them something, though. That's the thing. Maybe he lied. I don't know. Susan says, I can't see the poll. Susan, it may not come up. If you're watching on your TV, it may not come up correctly, or sometimes on mobile, it may not come up correctly. So possibly it might not be available for you to vote on, but let me know in the comments, Susan, yes or no, whether you think they knew about what happened to Gabby when Brian came home. You say no? Okay. Let's read a few more of your guys' comments. I think they discussed it on the camping trip, says Tim. I think he lied to them when he first came home, but after the numerous calls from her parents, I think they knew something happened. Are you talking about the numerous calls from Gabby's parents? Because I agree with you on that. All right, let's tune in to JB from WFLA. Keep the comments coming, guys. I'm watching them.
Might have to launch our own investigation as to where Walt is. He was on the phone with me, and he said he would be here. We're tracking him down. As soon as he's able to sit down here with us, we're back here with you live on WFLA Now. To our YouTube audience and our WFLA app and WFLA website audience, just didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So paging Walt Buteau, hopefully we'll have him here momentarily. Stand by for stream.
Oh, well, that was fast. So he was just tuning in quickly to update people on where's Walt. All right, sorry that the mic is just all over the place. I have to move it around for this stream. Hopefully the audio is good enough for this quick stream here. If the parents didn't know, then they wouldn't have had a lawyer and have spoken to Gabby's parents, says Mars Fool's Gold. That's true. I mean, the lawyer situation, in any event, it's good to just get a lawyer. But if they just knew that they had the right to remain silent, they wouldn't necessarily need a lawyer. So yeah, the lawyer situation is a little bit, is a little suspicious. Daniel says, I also want to know what the 911 calls were about from inside the home. Was it confirmed that there were 911 calls from inside the home? I know that there were 911 calls coming from around the house, but I didn't know about inside the home. I would be curious about that too. So real quick, I'm going to take a quick moment and play a video. I have to use the restroom, but I'm going to be playing a video that I posted yesterday. And if you guys are in here who have seen the video already, my apologies, but this is something that I can play just while I'm quickly using the washroom, and then I'll pop back in. May not play this entire video, but we'll see. While I'm pulling it up, what does your wife think about it? It's a good question, Phil. She's honestly too busy right now to even be involved in checking out every update. From what I've told her over dinners, she's definitely aware of the case. She thinks that the whole thing is, of course, right off the get-go just tremendously sad. But more than that, she definitely thinks that there's some suspicious activity with like how everything is played out with the parents. She just thinks it's like kind of cruel that the parents weren't as upset about the whole situation as they should have been with Gabby, right? I mean, it's just like that's their future daughter-in-law. So I think one of Beautiful Wife's opinions about it is just that it's an awful situation overall. Other than that, she doesn't have too much to say about it. But okay, guys, I'm gonna play this video. We're gonna split to this. Double me. We're gonna go to this real quick, and I'm going to quickly go use the washroom and be back. But we're gonna play this in the meantime. Thanks so much, guys. What's going on YouTube? Aaron here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Brian Laundrie Gabby Petito case. No new information, obviously, as we're all still waiting for potential autopsy and medical examinations to come back in terms of his DNA potentially matching what were considered to be the remains. I wanted to dive back into one of the biggest things that stands out to me as fishy and just suspicious in this entire case, and that is the search efforts in the beginning, not only the beginning in September, but into October for Brian. And we'll go back and do a little bit of a brief overview. I ended up finding some more information to pair with some WFLA chopper footage from just 2 weeks prior, because I know I made the video on October 22nd showing that they were about 8 miles off of his body when they initially started searching the reserve, the Carlton Reserve side of the reserve, and then they ended up going to the Myakkahatchee side. But I wanted to go through and just kind of show some new information just 2 weeks prior to them actually finding him. And then I want to talk about how it cost Chris and Roberta Laundrie 85 cents to find Brian. So we'll get into those numbers in a moment, but before we do that, let's go back to this tweet from the Northport Police Department on September 18th. In this tweet, they say that they are starting to conduct their search in the vast Carlton Reserve for Brian Laundrie. And this, like I said, is the thing that kind of sticks out the most to me, and that is the Carlton Reserve. There was so much around the Carlton Reserve part of the reserve, and of course we all know he ended up being found miles and miles away. And it just makes me wonder why they were searching here if the lawyer did say that the parents gave a lead to the area in which he liked to hike, which we know was not near here. And also if the car was found on the Reisterstown Road on the Myakkahatchee side, why did they start searching so far away? And I go back to this video from September 24th. This is actually from my video from October 22nd, just days after they found Brian. I ended up comparing where they were searching in the early stages to where they ended up finding him. Click the link up in the top right if you want to watch that video after, but I'm going to briefly go over it here. That map is actually right here. I'm going to play it side by side. The area which they were first beginning their search, this is kind of where they had their base camp set up. And then if I turn, we can line up the shot exactly with what we're seeing on the chopper footage here. So you can see that body of water in the top left matches specifically with the helicopter footage here. So if I continue playing it, we can just see that the big opening right here, this big clearing, is the same circle there. And then now they're kind of showing this area, this part of the road. And then they basically are explaining in this video from September 24th that this is where their search efforts are kind of in between. On the south end is right here. I'm back.
And the furthest north end would be
Oh,
here.
too many of my voice. Too many streams of my voice. Okay. Sorry. So I'm not going to play that whole video. That video is down. Go to my channel if you want to watch the rest of that video. It is the video titled, "It Cost Chris Laundrie Only 85 Cents to Find Brian." And this was kind of a quick video I just made on a whim last night, just to get something out on YouTube, just to bring up more about this case. And sure enough, here we are talking about it the next day with a little bit more information. But basically, I calculated how far his drive was to just walk straight into the reserve and find Brian, and how they spent millions of dollars to find him prior to that and weren't able to. So anyways, let's tune in. I'm going to be streaming for another 20 minutes roughly. We're going to tune back into JB and WFLA with Walt. And then we'll come back and I'll keep chatting with you guys, and then we'll wrap things up. But let's listen in to JB and Walt, WFLA.
Because we sort of had heard rumblings of that. The gun was a surprise, but then you think to yourself, how does one kill themselves in the middle of the woods without a gun? I think the biggest surprise about the weapon is that we had not heard about it. It had not been released. The FBI held that news conference the day the body was found and talked about basically, they talked about one backpack, or maybe they were talking about the wet bag. We then learned there was a wet bag and a backpack. So now we know, okay, and a notebook and some other things. But you wondered what was in the backpack, or what was in the two backpacks. And then, of course, you wonder where. We'd like to know, I would ask, where was the weapon found? Did he commit suicide where he was found, or was the body brought there by animals out there? All those questions are unanswered unless the FBI holds a news conference.
Yeah.
And now you wonder, obviously, my big thought would be, what happens next in the Petito case, in the Petito homicide? Does Brian somehow go from person of interest to more than that? Everybody believes at this point, they suspect that he did it, but he still is only a person of interest. Will that change in the coming days or weeks?
Very curious to know where this goes next. There has been a general overall blueprint for how this was going to be conducted as far as the public release of information. Walt, you and I have been talking off stream and on stream the last month or so. We knew that after Brian Laundrie's remains were found at the Carlton Reserve, we knew that the autopsy report was the next logical step.
Yeah.
We knew that probably the next time we would be on stream with a significant update to share with our audience would be when we have this document that is now published online and a public record. It's here in the center of your screen, clearly. We knew that when this document was public, we would have that update to share with people. But now that we have this, we don't know where this goes from here. There's no logical timetable for the next update to occur. The next steps are for this to go back now to Gabby, I think.
Right.
This now returns back to Gabby Petito.
Which is still an open case. That's an open investigation.
Ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
And I want to read, and if I'd like to, and it's been published all over. It's not on my Twitter page yet, but it's all over social media. Interestingly enough, Rick Stafford is the attorney for Gabby Petito's family. Nicole Schmidt, Joe Petito, Tara Petito, and Jim Schmidt. All of them being jointly represented by Rick Stafford, who you might have seen in the Dr. Phil interview. And they responded by, they say that they're not going to be releasing a statement, and they did so by releasing a statement, which always is interesting. So the non-statement reads in the form of a statement that reads as follows. The Schmidt and Petito family has been aware of the circumstances surrounding the suicide of the sole suspect in Gabby's murder. Gabby's family will not be making a statement at this time due to the request of the United States Attorney's Office and the Teton County Prosecutor's Office. The family was asked to not make any comments and let the FBI continue their investigation. The family was also asked to wait for the U.S. Attorney's Office to make a determination on whether any additional individuals will be charged. When that determination is made, we will have a statement. This non-statement tells us something.
It's a lot of information in that.
Tells us a whole lot.
The last two sentences. Read the last two sentences.
Listen to
charged.
it. The family was also asked to wait for the U.S. Attorney's Office to make a determination on whether any additional individuals will be charged. When that determination is made, we will have a statement.
When, not if. Now, of course, when that determination is made could mean they determine not to charge anyone else.
But what this reads to me is that
they are looking into it, right?
Exactly. That they haven't come to the conclusion that no one is going to be charged other than the use of unauthorized act, the debit card fraud. Other than that, put that aside for a second. They haven't made a determination yet that no one is going to be charged in this case. They haven't come to that conclusion as to whether charges are going to be filed in relation to Gabby's death or in relation to Brian's death.
Significant.
Or
Significant, though. Very significant, because that's the first really we've heard anyone on the record, not speculating, anyone on the record actually say that the FBI or intimate that the FBI is seemingly, from that statement, if you read it again, looking into potentially charging someone else.
The family, I'll read midway through. The family was asked to not make any comments and let the FBI continue their investigation. There's this belief out there, Walt, online, that this is done. That the FBI they have the cause of death for Gabby. They have the cause of death for Brian. Gabby died of manual strangulation in Teton County. Brian Laundrie died of suicide at the Carlton Reserve. All right, what's the next case? No, that's not how this works. The FBI is still continuously investigating the deaths of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie together. It's all part of one joint investigation effort by the FBI. And we don't know what the next logical step is, but the pendulum swing would lead you to believe that the next step, it all goes back to Gabby. And people want to know, and procedurally, people want to know, that is an ongoing and open homicide investigation by the FBI. And now there's going to be, and it all depends wherever you're watching from. I want to make this clear. Walt has been on the record in stating that the public demand for answers and information, that is heard by the FBI. The FBI isn't like,
Yeah, guys, so
this concrete wall.
I'm going to tune away from step away from their stream for a second, because we're going to be closing ours out in the next 10 or so, 15 minutes roughly, because I want to talk to you guys and just kind of wrap things up. But just like they're saying, the continued focus will still be on Gabby. The FBI has said that they're still continuing to look into the situation. So there's so many things with this case. It does seem like it's kind of wrapped up in a lot of ways. And a lot of people in some of my videos are like, just drop it, it's over. And it's like, yes, two of the main people that are involved in this case have been ruled dead, and we know the cause now of both. But we still don't know necessarily the reason behind it all. If there is that in the notebook, we don't know the actual person tied to Gabby's. Obviously, we have the main primary suspect of Brian, but there's still a lot around this case. So there's going to be a lot coming out still as the FBI knows more and as the FBI continues to find out more. Anyways, Alicia said, please. So earlier please be respectful of everyone's right to an opinion. You don't have to agree. That's another thing with all of this, is that everyone, I know I've, had some polls up that, kind of each side, it was like, do you think he's alive still? Do you think he's not? Do you think he did this or that? And it's like, I'm just curious of people's opinions. I'm curious of how people think, of this case right now in its current state. And so, yes, please just be respectful of people's opinions. Hey, Mercy, how's it going? It's been a while. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving, Mercy. And then Watchman, as well. I see your comments, and you say, opinions shouldn't be spoken like facts then, not trying to be rude, just keeping it real. I agree. Definitely there's a way in which we should be speaking when talking about this case, and it is to talk about everything as if it is a potential, not necessarily a complete and total fact. So I appreciate you chiming in about that. So let's go to this real quick. I'll keep reading some comments. Let's see here. Let's read a few comments. Miss Kelly says, the phones, the notebook, Gabby's full autopsy report, devices, surveillance, all of that. Yeah, we need to know more for sure. We want to know more. Anyone with OCD are going crazy over that open cupboard. That open cupboard? So sorry. My friends that I'm staying with right now have their cupboard open. So my apologies on that. Let's see. Miss Weasel, Miss Wee Lassie. Laundries have their conclusion that their son committed suicide. Petito's family only know their daughter was murdered. That isn't a conclusion. Who did it? Exactly. Where's the gun? It's still sad, the whole thing. Yeah, exactly, Paul. Still sad. Siegel, happy Turkey Day, everyone. Happy Turkey Day to you. Laundrie's parents already before they went into the reserve. So yeah, a lot of people think they knew. Someone was also saying the police, the 911 call was potentially them in the house, the Laundries, because Brian was maybe acting erratic and he had told them what happened. I think if they would have called 911 and said, like, our son just confessed to murdering someone and he's suicidal or he's, going crazy or whatever, that probably would have been out already, and they would have, honestly, they probably would have already leaked the 911 calls. So I don't think that that's probably the case. But then again, I'm not sure. Let's see. Not uncommon for a strangulation for the man to commit suicide with overwhelming guilt. People so nitpicking everything. Mimi. People are nitpicking everything. Yeah, are you talking about the cabinet? That's fine. That's funny. The gator shot himself in self-defense. Wendy Driscoll says, one theory I got into: did Brian find Gabby dead and same guy that killed Moab girls do this, and he thought he would be held responsible? Then I looked into evidence, facts. I don't know. There is some people that are on the fence of thinking that, like, he found Gabby and, like, he was just grieving, but it's like you would 100% clear your name before doing anything, right? You would at the very least report what happened so justice could be served in some way before you just go off and, off yourself or whatever. So I don't think that that's probably the case. Ginger says, Miss Kelly, that's exactly what I think happened. Let's see what Miss Kelly said. People are agreeing with Miss Kelly, so let's go back up here. They're just, she's talking about the strangulation thing. Yeah, completely. The Schultz family and Crystal family are very, very sad, looking for answers. Yeah. It's unfortunate that whole situation. I don't think that they're, unless it's just still, it's obviously still ongoing, but it's unfortunate that they have really nothing right now, unless it's just, it hasn't come out yet. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know if I should keep going. Obviously, like I played that video earlier, guys. I was talking about some new information as to where they were on October 6th, the day before Brian Laundrie's father entered the reserve, and it was actually pretty close to where they ended up finding Brian, right up here. The day before Chris Laundrie joined again, they were right over here. And so if you guys want to go check out that video from yesterday, do so. They, as the crow flies, they were only like 4 miles, just under 4 miles from where Brian was ended up being found that day. So it's an interesting video with a little weird tie to the end of it, of how much it cost Chris to find Brian. Missy T, yes. Let me see what Alicia's referring to. But yeah, the Summer Wells and others. Let's see what you mentioned there. Maybe I can answer something as well. What did Miss T say? Aaron, are you covering other cases? Yes, Missy T. I am. Like Alicia was saying, I've dove into the Summer Wells case a little bit. I did that prior to coming back out to the Midwest for the holidays, and so I haven't been able to get as deep into that case as I would like to. I'm going to continue covering that case just because that one's huge and it's still ongoing. But I'm definitely covering that. I've covered a couple one-off cases from some stories that have happened in the last several months. And then, of course, I've talked about some other stuff on my channel that are just interesting stories to me that have happened to me. So definitely stick around, hit the subscribe button if you're interested in anything like that at all. If we could get the stream to 500 likes real quick before we end the stream, that would be amazing. Watchman Studios, we truly appreciate your work, Aaron. Thank you. I appreciate you guys watching. Freebird, if they have a gun, where and when, by whom was it found? Yeah, that's a good question, because you would think that they would mention that as if it was found like with the Notebook, right? Or in and around the same time and area. So you would think that would have been listed just so people knew more information. But then again, they probably wanted to question or, test the gun for sample DNA and all that kind of stuff prior as well. So, Blue Angel, not being flirty, but you are a sweetheart, Aaron. That's okay, Blue Angel. I appreciate you being here and commenting. I've had some interesting DMs and emails, so that's not a bad comment at all. That's fine. The holidays are going to be rough for Gabby's family. That's another thing we need to be thinking about. It's Gabby's family right now. We're entering the holiday season, and this is just a really unfortunate situation overall. And I want it to be known by you guys that I've made a donation to the Gabby Petito Foundation. I know a lot of you guys have supported this stream in many ways. And I did do that just because this whole, if there's could be any good that comes out of it is that, more awareness and conversation around domestic violence can hopefully happen, and people, guys or girls and guys really in situations like this can hopefully get out of situations like this, so this stuff can hopefully not happen as much. And yes, hold on, let me go ahead and quickly shout out somebody. Someone mentioned a PayPal donation. Let me quickly check my PayPal and Venmo so I can give shout outs to those potential donations. But then there was actually someone else who sent a PayPal donation that I need to read off. So let me check. It was Charlotte. So Charlotte, during the last stream, gave a very generous PayPal donation. So she doesn't really comment on the streams much, but I wanted to still give her a shout out. So thank you, Charlotte, for Venmoing during the last stream. If I ever catch Venmo or PayPal donations after the fact, I usually try to write down names for people so I can give people shout outs. So it may have been Charlotte that was referring to that. Alicia, someone mentioned they made a PayPal. Yeah. So anyways, thank you to Charlotte after the last stream for sending that over. JTube, yes, of course. Chloe's mom, I'm late. So yeah, anyone that's coming in late, we are wrapping up the stream pretty much right now. But to the people who've come in late, definitely check out the rest of the video or the beginning of the video. It's going to be posting. It takes a little while to process after the video is done being, live streamed, but definitely check out the video. Thanks to everyone who got the stream over 500 likes. I know that this isn't my normal setting and the video and audio quality isn't necessarily as good as it could be. But I'm doing my best with what I have while I'm back in the Midwest for the holidays. Aaron, how can I become a member? So Siegel, I'm actually going to be starting the memberships after Thanksgiving. I'm going to be getting a membership situation figured out. I've got emotes and whatever they're called being made. So we're going to have custom emotes with different things that people can comment, which is great. So sometime after Thanksgiving, I'm going to be setting up a tier. It's going to be super basic to get in. I don't want to make it too crazy to join, but we'll likely have like a members only stream at least once a month for people to jump in and talk about whatever we want to talk about. And I think that would be really cool. And then of course it'll unlock different emotes as well that people can use in the chat. So I'm going to have that soon. Mrs. Kelly, I must say, may I just say that your streams are the most informative and easy to listen to. You explain well. You give everyone an opportunity to express their opinions. Good for you. Well, thank you, Mrs. Kelly. I appreciate it. And yeah, custom emotes are definitely fun. What did Freebird say? I always like to see what Freebird says. Someone mentioned something about Freebird. Oh, I don't know. I must have missed it. Slam the like button like a cupboard door. You know what I'm going to do real quick for the people with the OCD? Sorry, I'm just rambling. that's it. That's the stream. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I'm going to go for now. We're definitely going to tune in live again here soon to talk more about this case, Summer Wells, and many other cases that are happening. Cupboard is closed. Thank you all for joining, and thanks to the people who have supported the stream for so long, and to all the new people that have joined just today. So, like I said, if you've came in late, definitely check out the re-upload, and hit the subscribe button as well on your way out. We'll see you guys in the next stream. See you guys.